contradiction on my chest, Versace on my clothes. I got too many. Yo, I'm shaking, baking cookies, turning rookies into vets. I used to see my dreams through a foggy Pyrex. My Lex is outside, plus I got a 6'4", but my Benz is wrapped up around a telephone pole. I'm dripping candy wet, and I'm swinging 84s. Nothing but the screw banging in my radio. I'm blowing Miss Mary, and I'm sipping on sherry. Give my homie's mama money for his commissary. My name is... Yo, past the greenery, tweedle-lee, tweedle-la. Living like a king, feel the steam in my spa. Before I walk, gotta teach myself to crawl. I started off small, now I'm stronger than the law. You know my name, I'm SPM. In this rap game, I'm the cream a la creme. I tell you what it is, and I tell you what it was. Exotic foreign minks and imported Asian rugs. Police at my door, federales on my phone. I guess I'm making too much money with my microphone. I did my time, no sunshine. It seems like they only wanna handcuff mine. I used to be
35-year sentence for the rapper known as the South Park Mexican for sexually assaulting a 9-year-old girl last year. News 2 Houston's Cindy Garza joins us now live downtown with more. Cindy?
Well, Rachel, Carlos Coy showed absolutely no emotion as the judge read the sentence of 45 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Now, at one point, Coy turned around to his family and he mouthed, "I'll be all right." Then he turned away. That's when Judge Mark Ellis called him up to the stand. He literally read him the Right Act.
Mr. Coy, I have spent 17 years in this courthouse, and in that time I've seen more sex offenders than I wish to remember. But one thing I have found over time is that sex offenders have one trait in common, and that is that they are all liars, and you are no exception to that rule. You have lied to your family, you have lied to this court, you have lied to this jury, you've lied to your audience every time you go out there with your positive message, knowing that your life is not as it should be. You have spent this court's time, this jury's time, trying to explain, trying to discount, trying to excuse your conduct. There is no excuse for your conduct. You have testified to this jury. I guess you believe this, that you are convinced that you are a victim of your own celebrity in this situation. And if you were a plumber or a doctor or a priest or anything else but a rapper, you wouldn't be in this situation. Well, the fact is that there is only one victim in this case, and it is a 9-year-old girl. Now that is reality, and you need to deal with it. All people in this state, in this county, in this city, and in this courtroom are equal in the eyes of the law. You have received a fair trial, you've received due process, and the jury has spoken. And it's time for you to face the music. It is the order of this court that you be delivered to the Sheriff of Harris County and to the Director of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division, where they will carry out the jury's verdict for 45 years. And a $10,000 fine will be given credit for your back time. See the bailiff.
The 9-year-old victim's father then took the stand. He said, quote, Carlos, you really did it this time. You got caught up in your own lies and your own deception. I trusted you, my daughter trusted you, and you let us down when you molested her. Yes, Coy, you are one sick puppy, end quote. Again, Carlos Coy, South Park Mexican, the Houston rapper, 45 years in prison for sexually assaulting a 9-year-old little girl. We're live in downtown Houston.
What's the deal, my people? Thank you for joining me on my channel, Panama's OG Truth. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me right now. And today, I'm gonna bring you what I call a special attraction, okay? And this one right here, you know, I knew that eventually I was going to talk about it. And I've had a lot of people through the years ask me what I think, how I feel about this subject that we're about to talk about today, about this individual we're going to talk about today. And like I said, I really was trying to stay away from it. You have a lot of people that believe it, a lot of people don't believe it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shed some light. I'm gonna give you my perspective. Like I said, I did 12 years in the penitentiary, and in those 12 years, a lot of things happened. And this right here, like I said, I'm gonna tie it in, and I'm gonna show you at this point in time how everything was looking in the prison system in Texas. Okay, so I'm talking about today, Mr. Carlos Coy, aka South Park Mexican. Okay, and shout out to all my homeboys from that H. Man, some of the realest motherfuckers that I did time with, and numerous units. Okay, from that age. And I got a lot of homeboys with life sentences, a lot of homeboys with, 99 years, that type of shit. Ain't never going home, already been gone 30 plus years. So my shout out, my hat goes out to y'all, whoever's doing time, whoever's representing, whoever's holding it down. I'm talking to you, man. All right, keep your head up, much love. So this is for all my homeboys that are locked up, my homeboys that ain't never gonna see no daylight, and it's a cautionary tale. Okay, so Carlos Coy, 1995, he drops his first album, Hillwood. Okay, and I remember this because 95 is the year that I got locked up. It's the year I caught my case. So I remember that year vivid. It was a life-changing experience in my life. So everything that was happening in 95, I could tell you about it like it was yesterday. So I remember when Mr. Carlos Coy, aka South Park Mexican, dropped his first album. That shit was buzzing. And even though I was not able to enjoy it in the streets because I got incarcerated, I remember being in the county jail and motherfuckers talking about that shit. Motherfuckers that were coming in. Alright? And like I said, I wasn't in H-Town, I was in Dallas. And we were hearing about that. So then I hit the penitentiary and I'm hearing about it even more. The fly ass Mexican from the SPM, South Park. And I didn't even think you had Mexicans in South Park. I thought it was just black folks. My ignorance. But you had Mr. Carlos Coy representing the South Park area of that H. So when I tell you that you talk about the dope slanging, the syrup sipping, the parking lot pimping, that whole thing is what Carlos Coy, SPM, described. That was his everyday surroundings, and he illustrated it and he storytelled the surrounding areas of the South Park. So he was putting on for the Chicanos. He was putting on for the Mexicans that were from Mexican descent but were living in the Houston area, and for every other metropolitan area in the United States. The Mexicans that grew up here in the States. So they grew up literally listening to the rap, the lingo, the streets, man. The streets, man, is one thing that's common right now in the streets. And it's always been like this, okay? That's money and pride. So these Chicanos that grew up in that South Park area is what influenced what SPM was talking about. And that shit caught by storm. You hear me? The only one that I put on for the Chicanos, for the Mexican people, was Kid Frost. Okay? La Raza. My hat goes out to you. But Carlos Coy, he did it repeatedly. If you see the span from when he started dropping albums until when he got locked up, he put in a lot of work. So him dropping albums, that shit was a repeated thing. Okay? Until he got incarcerated. And if you don't know what the fuck happened, if you don't know the story, I'm gonna give you a summary. And I'm gonna break it down to you even more. Okay? He had a little daughter. Okay, she's a grown woman now, and everything that I'm gonna say is not rumors or whatever. These is all facts. Okay, and when I say they're facts, you can check them out. Okay, like I said, I'm not into the rumor shit. I'm a grown motherfucking man. I don't get off that capping shit. Okay, so he had a little daughter, and she had a little homegirl, a little friend, and the little girl supposedly was supposed to be spending the night with Carlos Coy's daughter, and like a little slumber party, I guess. You know, whatever. You know what little kids, what little girls do, you know. And she was spending the night over there. They were laying in the bed. And this is what the little girl says, okay? That while she was laying in the bed, she remembers Carlos Coy, SPM, performing oral sex on her. And before that, you know, supposedly he was touching her in ways that he wasn't supposed to be touching a little girl. If anything, being in the bed with a little girl. So right there and then, I have a problem with that, okay? Why would you be in the bed with your daughter and another little girl? All right? Second of all, the movie that he was playing for them. I'm not gonna say the name of the movie. I'm not gonna say I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. I don't like I said, I'm not gonna say the name of the movie. Okay, they'll strike this motherfucker down quick. Okay, but he was playing a movie that, you know, you might say it's a comedy, but it has scenes in that comedy that a little kid, a little child, especially a little girl, shouldn't be listening to or watching. So why was he playing that movie for this little girl and his daughter? Right there, I have a problem with that right there from the get-go. And look, for you parents, they like to, you know, let your kids go spend the night with whoever. You know, I don't give a fuck if it is family. You never know what the fuck is going on. Pay attention to what the fuck you're doing, okay? Because when you think your kids are safe, they're not, all right? And this is the case with this little girl right here. So she talked about it. She told her parents what had happened, and they took it to the doctor. She was touched. She was molested. Okay, and a lot of people gonna say, well, damn, man, what about, you know, him being set up? Because the story goes that he had relationships, and when I say relationships, he fucked his best friend's girl. Okay, and she was like, you know, if you don't give me X amount of dollars, you know, your homeboy, I'm gonna tell him that you fucked me, that we were having a thing. And he was like, you know, fuck it, I don't give a damn. You know, you ain't blackmailing me. Do what you gotta do. And that's when she put up her little daughter to say that Carlos Coy had molested her. That's somehow the story goes, okay? Like I said, I'm not gonna get into details. I'm gonna give you a short summary so you can understand what we're getting into, okay? So he gets convicted. I wanna say 2002. They give him 45 years, okay? And when he first hit the prison system, he hit, I want to say All-Red unit. I don't know if that was the first or the second penitentiary that he hit, but I know it was one of the first units. I know he hit Plow's unit. It used to be Beto 2. They renamed that shit Plow's unit. I don't know why. But, or All-Red. Like I said, it was All-Red, okay? And the reason why I say All-Red, like I said, I don't know if it was the first or the second one he hit. I had homeboys that were over there, and they wrote me telling me that he had got over there. And by him being from that H-town, my homeboys from that H, you know, they were shooting me letters and they're letting me know, hey man, this motherfucker SPM, he over here. And you already know what time it is, man. If you locked up with the H-town boys, you already know what I'm talking about. Okay? Shout out to all my homeboys from that H-town. Got some solid motherfuckers from that age, man. Like I said, man, a lot of them ain't never going home. They got 99 years, that type of shit. You know, keep your head up. Much love. But yeah, man, he got over there, and when he got over there, man, that shit was rough as fuck. And when I said
an inmate is dead after what TDCJ officials believe to be an altercation in the Janesville All-Red unit. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Daryl Franklin.
And I'm Melanie Townsend. According to officials with the prison unit, the 35-year-old man was found yesterday during security checks at around 6:30 p.m. The unit then went into lockdown soon after. Prison officials say the inmate was lying on his bunk unresponsive with fight injuries. Soon after, the cellmate...
Rough as fuck. I already was top of penitentiary, man. Motherfuckers getting beat up, stabbed up. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers getting their booty took, all kind of shit. It was a gladiator school. I can't speak for it now. But he hit that motherfucker at some point in time. And from what I hear, it wasn't easy for him. He probably was paying for protection. Ain't nobody gonna let somebody with a child molester case make it, all right? Especially if you got money. Motherfucker, USPM, you got money. So motherfuckers were taxing his ass. That's the only way he was gonna stay alive. That's the only way he was gonna stay there, period. Okay? It's just, these are penitentiary rules, okay? There's the facts of just, you know, the law of the land, as they say. You can't be a child molester and walk around with your head up in the penitentiary. That shit don't work like that. You can't be a snitch and walk around with your head up in the penitentiary. That shit don't work like that. So I'm pretty sure that Carlos Coy, convicted with that type of jacket, he had it hard. Now, I'm not here to argue, is it true? I'm not here to argue if it's not true. All I'm telling you is the things that point to Carlos Coy being incarcerated, okay, are not too good. And the main thing that keeps ringing in my mind, there's a statement from this little girl. And when I say this little girl, I'm not talking about the little girl that he supposedly touched at his house when she was spending the night with his daughter. This is another girl that he was fucking. And when I say he was fucking, they have a child together. I'm not gonna say the name of the child. They're grown, okay? All this public information, okay? I'm just shining some light to it. And this girl, I believe she was 13 years old at the time, okay? I think she was 14 when she had the baby. But she talks about, they asked her, the SPM know that she was underage. And she said, well, I don't know if he knows that I was underage, but what I do know is he picked me up numerous times when I was in school, middle school. Now you tell me what's wrong with that picture right there. If you a grown man, over 21 years old, over 21 and up, you a grown man in Texas, all right? Why the fuck you picking up a girl at a middle school, taking her back to your studios and fucking her? That's not no real shit right there. That's some punk shit. Let's get that understood. And if anybody gets offended about what I'm saying, then fuck you too, okay? Because I'm a father. I'm a father. And if somebody ever even thought about doing some shit like that to one of my kids, I don't call police. That's all I'm gonna say. So, Carlos Coy, 45 years, did they give him a lot of time? You fucking right they did. Did they give him more time than they give the normal child molesters? You fucking right they did. And that's because who he was. And do I agree with it? Like I said, man, what he did for La Raza, for the Mexicans, especially in H-Town, in Texas, period, was monumental. You can't take that away from him. He was the voice, okay? And him going down the way he went down, it was an unfortunate situation. But for you to do some shit like that, you got some screws up here that are not right. And whatever the fuck you got up there that's not right, it's transitioning to your little head. And you're doing some dumbass shit. Some shit that literally, by law, you should be dead if you did it. I don't condone that shit. I don't show no love to no child molesters. Alright? Motherfuckers like that, they get smashed. They get their pill. Yeah, they don't make it. Okay? So, if he did do it, he's getting what he deserves. Now, has he been there longer than the normal child molester? Yeah. Yeah, he has. You got motherfuckers that are 2-3 times repeated offenders, and they don't get that much time. So they made an example out of Carlos Coy. They did. And what's keeping him in there is that cockiness, okay? He hasn't admitted it. And one of the things that you need to make parole that helps you out a lot is when you show that I'm sorry for my mistake. Or as they say, show some remorse. But he doesn't do that. He still says that he was wrongly convicted. Even though it's a lot of evidence, and when I say it's a lot of evidence, like I said, a child with a 13-year-old girl, he claimed that the girl, he didn't know she was underage, whatever. There's numerous cases, at least 8, 9 young girls, like I said, this is documented, that said that Carlos Coy, SPM, was fucking with them. And I don't want to hear that there were strippers. I don't want to hear that they were fast. I don't want to hear that they were dressing like grown women. I don't give a fuck. You got to make your business know a girl's age, okay? And when you have kids with a 13-year-old and you have a repeated pattern of fucking young girls, like I said, man, the writing is on the wall. The proof is in the pudding. It is what it is, okay? So Carlos Coy being in a maximum security penitentiary with a child molester charge, believe me when I tell you, it's hard, okay? And I'm pretty sure that he paid for protection. I'm pretty sure about that, all right? And I'm pretty sure motherfucker put them hands on his ass. There's reports out there, all right, that he got his ass smashed. So this is, like I said, man, part of the game, man. And I've heard different versions of it, but I know that it happened. And the reason why I tell you I know that it happened, these are penitentiary rules. You've been locked up, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You're a child molester, you got that notoriety, you got the money, and then you come out of that age. You know how many real motherfuckers from that age representing that age? And then you come down there, and because you're a celebrity, you're a rapper, nah, motherfucker don't give a fuck about that shit. In their eyes, you're a child molester with money. That's it. And they're gonna make you handle. They're gonna make you pay that. Alright? Man, look, man. If you disagree with me, you don't know a fucking thing. Okay? Everything that I'm telling you is the laws of the land. When you incarcerated, you got people that are gonna look for any type of ways to extort you. Especially if you have money. Especially if you have a name. Okay? And that all right there fits Carlos Coy, SPM. Right? Now, we gotta fast forward to a couple of years now, like 2021, 2022, he had some lady by the name of Carolyn, okay? That was supposed to be his wife. She was the one that was handling all the business. She was handling the majority of the business, all right, for Dope House Records, okay, while he's incarcerated. And for whatever reason, he decided that he wanted to record a phone call.
It's a lie right there.
What's a lie?
Carlos and Carolyn have come to an end. I've been nothing but faithful to you.
Yeah. So, just because you've been faithful, you can sell edibles to my fans. You can lie to me every day. So I just got to settle for it, right? I'm in prison. I got to settle for anything. At least I'm faithful to you, dumbass. Let me tell you something, Carolyn. People are supposed to be faithful. That's nothing to brag about. You're supposed to be fucking faithful. If you tell a man that you're his and that you belong to him, then don't brag about being faithful. You knew what it was. You knew that I was in prison. You knew that if you were going to be my girl, of course you have to be faithful. I told you, are you sure? Because we can just be friends. And you said, no, I want to be yours. I can do this. So stop bragging about being faithful, like being faithful is something to brag about. That's what a woman is supposed to do for her man. Sit up here and brag about you kept your legs closed.
I haven't even seen you in a year and a half. Like,
you haven't seen me in a year and a half, so what?
I don't even know when I'll see you.
Well, you ain't getting on my visit list, I promise you that. So you can see me when I get home. If we bump into each other. But let me just explain to the fans what's going on. Carolyn was on tour in a little tour bus, and I just found out that she was selling edibles to my fans. THC edibles. Not IDing anybody. And IDing anybody doesn't even matter. Listen, I know my fans fuck with weed. I know that that's what a lot of them do. But a lot of them don't. And I'm not, Dope House Records, we're not dope dealers. And if anybody uses Dope House Records, I trusted my fan base to Carolyn. I opened up my fan base to Carolyn. I told the world that she was family. I told the world she was my wife. And she betrayed me and was selling this shit and hiding it from me. Not only is it illegal, not only does it make me look bad because it's illegal, but it's not what I want to sell to my fans. Do you know that my brother wanted to sell CBD oil at the last day of Unity in H-Town? I said, I don't want kids passing by that booth and seeing weed products. I don't give a fuck if they are CBD oil. That's not what we do. My sister used to sell bongs. She used to be in the valley and sell all kinds of bongs. I said, don't call that store a Dope House record store if you're going to sell bongs. Because I know what weed does to kids. I've been smoking since I was 10 years old. Every one of my friends that I grew up with in middle school and high school, anytime anybody started smoking weed, it never made them a better person. It always, 100% of the time, made them a worse person, a worse attitude, more disrespectful to their parents, got into more trouble, made them criminals, made their grades go lower. Most of them dropped out. Weed is not a good thing for a kid. Now, after you get a college education and whatever, I mean, I guess I can't knock you. But I'm not going to have nobody using Dope House Records to sell fucking THC edibles, which is what Carolyn was doing.
I wasn't using it just to sell THC. Okay. That's not true.
Well, I know that you weren't only selling THC. I know that you were
wasn't even the main thing that I had. That wasn't like the main thing anyway. Those weren't my products. Well, my merchandise is the main thing that I sold.
From what I was told, Carolyn, that y'all were selling so much that y'all were selling out.
It wasn't
and
that
not only
much.
That,
it really wasn't.
You were selling out of it though, right?
If I only had 3 and they sold out, that's selling out. Yes, 3. Yeah, it wasn't like I had a lot.
You know what? Mark Cerner was there. And Mark, let me just explain something to you guys. Because some dumb bitch might be out there saying, damn, SPM sound like a rat. But let me tell you something. You're only a fucking rat and a snitch when you snitch on something that ain't got nothing to do with you. But this is my business. These are my fans. I'm all about my fans. In fact, the word fans itself, of course, you know, stands for family. Absolutely never separating. And I would never sell this shit to my fans. If they want to fuck up on their own, that's their business. But I'm not going to help them do that. If it affects my company, we will never build the empire that we need to build. We will never get to where we're going if we're sitting there fucking at a tour bus selling THC to fucking kids. And not only that, the shit's illegal.
I've never sold anything to a kid.
Larry wasn't IDing people, Carolyn. As a matter of fact, if you're hearing me right now and you were under 18, even if you're fucking 70, the shit's illegal. But if you were under 18 and you were able to purchase a fucking edible, let me know so I can show her that this shit is happening so that she can know.
Yeah, please let me know because I don't know anything about that. I've never seen any kid.
All right. Well, he's telling her why, he no longer is going to be with her. And one of the reasons that he keeps emphasizing is she was selling cannabis, edibles, gummies, whatever the fuck she was selling, some weed type product at the concerts, at the functions that had Dope House Records stamped all over it. And he was making it sound like she had done some serious, terrible crime, like she was pumping kilos of cocaine and heroin out the motherfucking trailer. That's the way he made it sound. And he's over here telling her, I don't appreciate you doing this. You were selling this to my my customers, my fans. I was like, man, this dude sound like a fucking bitch. Okay? Why the fuck you gonna sit here and tell this girl that you leaving her because she was selling weed edibles at your functions, at Dope House Records functions? What kind of shit is that? Talking about my reputation. You ain't got no reputation. Your reputation is as a child molester, okay? And that's why you in prison, as a child molester. So what the fuck you trying to charge her up and tell her that you don't want nothing to do with her because she was selling fucking weed at your functions? If you didn't want to be with the bitch, just say it. I'm moving on. Come to find out, he got with one of his daughter's homegirls. Now, that's what I'm talking about right there. I'm not gonna say there's something wrong with messing with younger women. Alright? If she's grown, she's over 21 years old, she's fair game. I'm not saying that. But when I say, how you gonna sit there, get rid of your current wife for selling edibles and weed at your functions, and then you turn around and you get with your daughter's a homegirl, a chick that's young enough to be your daughter. Your daughter's a friend. Like I said, man, that shit looks suspect. Alright? Like, what's your thing with young bitches? That's what I think about. That's what I look at. Like, man, what is your thing with young bitches? Like, damn, man. He comes up for parole in 2024. Right around the corner. Is he gonna make parole? I don't know, man. There's petitions out there going around. For real, man. The struggle is real to get out the penitentiary. There's petitions that are asking for his release, saying that he's already done enough time. And then there's petitions saying, fuck that fool. Keep that fool locked up. He's a child molester. Which petition will win? It remains to be seen. But his first eligibility for parole will be 2024, like I said, right around the corner. So we'll see what the fuck happens with Carlos Coy, SPM. Like I said, man, pioneer, I give him that. Trailblazer, I give him that. Did he put it down for La Raza, for the Mexicans, for the Chicanos? Yeah. For the essays with the grills in their mouth? Yeah, he did that. But the child molesting shit, man, that shit right there doesn't fly. And that's where Carlos Coy fucks up. And you have certain people in certain states, like Cali.
With the whole SPM situation, he actually got a 13-year-old girl pregnant.
It's true? That's crazy. I ain't even know, like, that shit real, man. That shit real. He got a 13-year-old girl pregnant. What the fuck wrong? What the fuck was you thinking, boy? What the fuck is you thinking, boy? No, yeah, he's not allowed to step foot in California. He's gonna get taken care of accordingly, but that's just law. That's how it goes. Motherfucker, pedophiles, all that. You get held and they get held accountable for what they did. And if you don't get held accountable in this life, you're gonna held accountable in that life. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Good. God don't like ugly. I got a daughter. One of my daughters like 8, 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? A couple more years, she's gonna be 13. I could never imagine her getting pregnant at that age. It's not like he fucking kissed the girl. It's not like he fucking, no, he got a 13-year-old girl pregnant. Like, what the fuck? What your old ass doing fucking a 13-year-old girl? What the fuck are you doing? You sick in the head, boy? If it was up to me, cut your dick off, boy, and cut your fucking hands off. Man, let's see how long he lasts. The industry is all fucking ass backwards. The industry is like diabolic, demonic. Like they glorify all that fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up.
That are saying that when he gets out, he ain't coming to Cali. He's banned it from Cali. So as we speak, you already got people that are conservative, you know, in the West Coast already saying he ain't coming out here. He can't come out here. It's a no-fly zone over here. Carlos Corey right now as we speak, he's 51, 52 years old. He's already an older gentleman. The rap game is a young man's game, okay? If he thinks he's gonna come out here and pick up where he left off, who am I to say that he can't? What I can tell you is he already has certain people that got a target on his back. It is what it is. Like I said, that child molester jacket, motherfucker don't appreciate that shit. Like I said, they're already banning him from coming to Cali. So, do I wish him any bad? Like I said, I don't do that shit. It is what it is. All right? He's been locked up already, you know, decades. Okay? And a lot of child molesters, like I said, they go in there and they stay quiet and nobody knows they're child molesters. Some of them get exposed. You know, you got COs in there that'll drop, you know, the jacket and say, hey, such and such and sell such, he's a child molester. He's in here with, you know, 8 counts of touching little kids. And next thing you know, they'll smash that motherfucker. They'll kill his ass. Care fly his bitch ass. Get his ass up out of here. We don't tolerate no child molesters. Alright? Motherfuckers that are child molesters in the penitentiary, they're piñatas. Alright? We bust them open. No different. So, I know that the first years that he was in the penitentiary, like I said, I know that shit was hell for him. Later on down the line, as time progressed, I'm pretty sure that he's being housed in other units that are more laid back, more scaled back. They're not gang infested. You got motherfuckers doing their time, you know, what they say, Cadillacing. They just want to go about doing their time, you know, get their little privileges, whatever. You know, they want a little smoke weed, you know, drink a little bit of wine, you know. That's what they want to do. They ain't talking about, you know, whooping nobody. They ain't talking about smashing nobody. Nah. But a unit like All Red, it's on and popping, man. Especially in them years. You feel me? Early 2000s when he hit the system, yeah. So if you were in any prison with Mr. Carlos Coy, SPM, get in my comments, man. Let me know what the fuck. Like I said, man, I've never been in no penitentiary with SPM. But I was in the system. In other words, in another prison when he hit the Texas prison system. Like I said, motherfucker shot me a couple of kites letting me know that he was hitting that bitch. So I remember that. And like I said, it's a sad situation, man, because he put on, like I say, he put on. You can't take that away from Carlos Coy, SPM. You can't. You know what I mean? That motherfucker was dropping that heat. Hell yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens when he comes up for parole. Am I wishing him bad? Nope. Do I give a fuck if he gets out or not? Not really, man. I mean, it is what it is, man. Like I said, I don't show no love to no motherfucking child molesters. I'm a father. So we'll see. I'll keep y'all posted on this. This one, like I said, I really didn't want to do it. But here I am, like I said, dropping this motherfucking heat, giving it to you raw and uncut. Check me out. The only way I could bring it to y'all, man, hit them likes, subscribe to my channel. Because believe me, man, the more you give me, the more I'm going to give you. I'm going to put it on. When I say my life is through my eyes. All right? Nobody else, through my eyes. So what I'm telling you, what I'm giving you, straight from the heart. Straight from the heart. And like I said, man, pay attention, cautionary tale. Don't never think that you're untouchable. Okay? Because when you think like that, it's just a matter of time. And that's what happened with Carlos Coy. He thought he was untouchable. And he thought he was going to get away with some sick shit. And that shit came back and bit him in his ass. And it still got his ass. in the fucking hole. Much love, God bless. Fuck with me later. Panama's OG Truth.